People who don't run track often make the mistake of saying that the 800 is an easy event because there's only 2 laps around the track. When in reality, for people that have run and do track, they know that that's just simply not the case. Similar to the 400, the 800 is another event that pushes your speed and endurance capability to its absolute limit. So to say the least, it's another hard event. So it takes a real elite runner to run fast times in the 800. For example, let's talk about David Rudisha. David Rudisha is a Kenyan 2-time Olympic champion that currently holds the world record for the 800, sitting at 140.91. There's less than 400 people that have managed to run under 145, so that should really help you get an idea of just how hard the 800 can be at higher levels. Now that you guys have an idea of how hard the 800 is, we're going to start talking about my experiences with the 800. And my first 800 race took place on...
Yeah, come on, Chris. Let's go, bro.
So, I'm going to just go ahead and say it now. Out of the 5 races I'm going to be talking about today, I'm only going to show the video for 2 of those. So for the first 3, I'm not going to show the full video. But if you want to see the full races, then I say check out my Instagram, because that's where I post all of my full races. And that's where I've been posting all my races since I started doing track. So if you want to see the race, check it out there. But again, for the first 3, I'm not going to show the video, but for the last 2, I will. So yeah. However, I am going to throw up a clip of the first race. And I'm gonna talk about it real fast so we can get to the better races. So for my first race, I ran 2:18.56. It was a decent starter to say the least, since it was my first 800, and it was raced on a 145-meter track, and I also didn't have spikes. I didn't get spikes until probably midway through my indoor season. So for these first 3 races, I also didn't have spikes. So I really put a limit on myself during my indoor season for not having spikes, but I got it together eventually. So I guess it all worked out in the end. With that being said, I did feel pretty good about this race, judging by the fact that I did manage to get first place. I did win, so that was always a good. I'm always here for the win. That's always a good thing. And it was my first race, so I didn't really beat myself up. So at the time, it was pretty good. It was a great starting point. Now here in Illinois, there's one meet where a lot of the best people in the area usually go to, and that's the Gately meet. So yeah, this Gately meet, this is where I was introduced to a lot of the competition. This is where I was introduced to some of the best people in my area. So with that being said, we're going to head straight into my next 800-meter race, which took place on... So for this meet, I got a cool 5-second PR. I ran a 2:12.26 that meet, so that was pretty good. I was feeling good. It was a 5-second PR, so, not too much I can do to complain about that, right? I put my eyes on a goal. I was gonna go try to break 2:10, and 2:10 as a freshman, that's pretty good, breaking 2:10. And yeah, I was planning on getting spikes this meet at the Gately meet, but it just didn't happen, so I did it in my regular shoes. So yeah, I did run 2:12 in regular running shoes, but next meet, I told myself I was going to do it with spikes, and nothing was stopping that from happening. So again, it was a great meet, lots of competition. It really got me exposed to, what I can do later in the future. So that was always great to see. But yeah, I didn't have too many complaints about the Gately meet. It was a great experience, and I'm glad I was there. So now that we have that out the way, we're going to move on to my last indoor race that we're going to talk about. And for this race, this was a great memory for me. It was great. So I hope you guys can feel it too. Again, I'm not going to have the video, but I will put up a clip. And if you want to see the video, again, check out my Instagram, because that's where I post my races. So we're going to dive into the next race, which happened on... Now, let's talk about this race. This race was amazing. So not only did I accomplish my goal of breaking 2:10 as a freshman, it was my first meet with spikes, and on top of that, I have ended up breaking a school record, which was held since 1976. It was like 50 years old. I felt amazing after breaking that. So I managed to mark myself in my school's history, which was amazing. Again, it was a 4-second PR. Can't complain. And yeah, it was just an overall amazing meet for me. It was a great race. I had a lot of competition. I think I definitely got like top 5 in that race. overall, I don't know about my overall placement, but during that race, I definitely got top 5. So it was a great race. I went home happy, and it was amazing for me. It was a breakthrough, if you will. It was my breakthrough 800 race. So yeah. Now that we're done with the indoor season, we're gonna start talking about the outdoor season. Now, for my outdoor season, we're only gonna be talking about 2 races. Okay, so we're gonna have the first outdoor race, and then we're gonna have another race that I want to talk about where I did some more pretty good stuff. This is also gonna be the second race I'm gonna talk about. The final race is also gonna be my PR. So at the end of this, you guys are gonna know exactly what my current PR is and how much of a time difference I made since my first 800 and my last 800. But with that being said, let's not get too far ahead, and let's talk about the first outdoor 800 meter race that I ran, which took place on. So I'm not going to have too much to say during this race just because of the fact that I feel like it wasn't that much of a competitive race. As you can see, I'm already in the front, and I'm going to just let you guys know now. I pretty much just stayed in the front for the entire race. So I'm just going to let the race play out. And also, I'm going to have it at 1.5x so we can get through it and get to the other races sooner.
Yes.
So as you guys saw, that race, I pretty much front led the whole time. I ran by myself the entire race, and I gotta say, felt pretty good to do that. For it to be my first outdoor 800, I was kind of nervous because I never did 800 outdoors. But it went well, and yeah, I ended up winning the race. I ran 206.72, I believe. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the time I ran. So 2-second difference from the indoor and outdoor. So it was cool. It was a PR, so it's whatever. And yeah, I was happy with the race. Went home with the first place medal, and yeah, that was it. All right, we are now at the final race of the video. See, now this race, the reason why it's gonna be the last race we talk about is because this was the last race I PR'd in the 800 in. I did run the 800 once after this, but it wasn't a PR. I ran a second slower. So we're gonna make this the last race we talk about for this video. And with that being said, we're just gonna hop straight into it. This race took place on.
We got the freshman, Chris.
Let's go.
All right, so with this race, this is not going to be similar to the last one. This race was really competitive. I really had to work, and I really had to push myself in this race. So as you can see, we're coming off the curve. I'm sitting in about 4th place right now. Yeah, I'm sitting in about 4th place. Now I'm in 3rd. I pretty much just stayed with the dude in red, the bright red guy. I stayed with him almost the entire race until the last 200. So yeah, we're coming around the second curve. I'm feeling pretty beat because I started to get in my head during this race because I saw the dude in front. I saw him like start to open up a gap, so I started to get in my head like, what if I can't win this? And just those negative thoughts. But I still decided to keep pushing. I kept my pace. I kept moving, and I tried to just work as hard as I could to keep my placement. I really did my best to not let the dude behind me pass me, but I'm not gonna lie, he got pretty close. But so yeah, we're coming around the back stretch. I'm still feeling pretty good. I know I'm gonna have to really kick the last 100 to get this win. Now that we're coming around the 4th curve, this is the last curve, so I'm gonna let the last 100 meters play out.
We got the freshman, Chris.
Let's go, Chris.
158, 159, 2 minutes.
Now, as you guys can see from the video, it was a really competitive race for me, at least, and it was a packed race. Everybody, there was a lot of people. You know, we had to do the staggered start, and yeah, it was pretty packed. But again, with that being said, I still managed to win the race thanks to my great kick, and yeah, there was a little bit of wind. Honestly, yeah, there was a little bit of wind on the backstretch. I did start to feel it, but hey, we managed to push through and we got the win. Now, back to earlier when I said that this was another big meet. This was a big meet because I managed to break another one of my school records. The record before it was 206 low, and I managed to run 204, so I completely destroyed that record, and it was another record that I was able to put in my school's history book, and it was a great meet. I felt great about it. It was a great achievement. You know, I was happy. I managed to win the race, so everything went well, and I like to just kind of forget about the 800 I ran after this. I kind of like to, you know, let me take that back. It's important to hold on to your lost races so you can learn and so you can better yourself for the next race. So, although I didn't PR after that, I still have to take into account that I had a great season. It was a great run. I did the 800 a lot. It was great, and I'm only a freshman, and for me to run 204 as a freshman, I feel like that's pretty good. My goal after this is to go sub 2 my sophomore year. And honestly, with the way I've been running and with the way I've been practicing and training, I feel like it's definitely something I can achieve. I expect myself to hit that goal at least in the beginning of outdoor, but if it doesn't, hey, can't do nothing but try. So that is all I have for this video, and I'm really happy if you sat all the way through. Thank you. Shout outs to you. And also, since you did sit all the way through, you might as well like and subscribe, you know, hit the bell for all notifications, you know, be there for the next vid. But yeah, so I feel great about my freshman year 800 experiences. It was great. I feel like I made a big difference from 218 to 204, 14-second difference. I mean, that's amazing if you ask me. So my next goal is to try to go sub 2, and yeah, so I'm gonna be working hard to make sure I get to that goal. And yeah, so I'm gonna just work, make sure I keep pre-Ring. I'm gonna keep trying hard, and you should keep trying hard too. So the next vid is either gonna be my 3200 experiences or my relay experiences. So yeah, I'm trying to be more consistent. I want to do this content and stuff for real, because like I said before, I want other people to see my journey. I want to share my story. So I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Again, thank you for watching the video all the way through, and I'm gonna see you on the next vid.